Hello, hello. It's Rebecca with the Nenana Ice Classic fan page update for the afternoon down here at the tripod just to see what's going on. Everything looks pretty solid right now, but we'll hang out here for a little bit, just talk, and I'll tell you about some of the changes I see. What do you think about the camera in this position? Does this give you a good view of what I'm seeing? Did you like it better vertical? To me, it seems kind of like it's better the other way. I don't know. Anyway, it's 45 degrees here. It's a slight breeze blowing. It's not raining now, but it's been raining on and off through the day. You can see it's kind of blue sky over here, but if I pan around, you can see a lot of clouds there. We're looking at a lot of water here on top of the ice. So this here is all rain and snow melt here on top of the ice. You can definitely see that there's ice in the water below me right here. This ice is just sitting in the water, but I can see ice below that. I don't know if you can see ice below that, although, can you see right in here this dark line? That's a nice big crack in the ice right there. That's under the water. There's there's a current going in the same direction as the river. I'm not going to say that that is, full-on river current here, but the water is flowing in the same direction that the river goes and at a fairly good clip. So we're going to watch this little piece of ice come by here. You see it right there? You can definitely see that the water here on the edge is moving, but there is ice underneath the water. So it's really interesting to see the difference in the ice. You can see cracks in the ice. You can see that all here along the edge there's water, and just it's on top of the ice though. It's not free flowing. I did go over and look at the slough that's over here on the back side of this little island here, and there is some flowing water over there, but I would not call that an open slough at this point. We're looking up here at the Train River Bridge. You can see it looks like a lot of open water, but once again, that's water on top of the ice. Out there in front of that building with the blue roof, there is a lot of sand right here on this side of the riverbank now, so it's not very deep. I know it looks like the river is halfway open, but it's not really. So let's go talk about the tripod clock. 45 degrees, the wind is blowing. Things are drying up though. I mean, our snow piles are smaller. I'm gonna go here. Here's the watchtower. We're gonna go look at the clock. To me, it seems harder to film this way. I don't know. I don't like filming in this direction. What do you think? Does it look okay? Do you like it better the other way? I don't know. Okay, so here's the clock. Hi, guys. The watchmen are over there. And as you'll notice, the time on the clock is 1 hour behind what my time is. So my time right now is 3:04, but this clock is 2:04. And the reason for that is that the tripod clock is on Alaska Standard Time and we are in Daylight Savings Time. So the clock is hooked up. That wire right there, coming out the top of this little snaky thing, goes up to the tripod tower up there. That is connected directly to the tripod. You can follow those lines all the way down there. I have noticed, though, that the level of the river is getting a little bit higher, which is good. That's what should happen when it's been raining. and all the water drains down into the river, and it lifts up the ice, and then everything can go out. Okay, I'm just walking back over here to my car. I was up around the corner earlier today. I made a really interesting video about just some things that I was noticing in the water, how it was coming up through the ice, and that kind of thing. So if you want to check back on the fan page and take a look at that, it was just interesting to me how the water was coming up through the cracks. Maybe in a little bit we'll take a ride down there. Okay, I'm gonna put you in my tripod here, so it's gonna be wiggly. Sorry about that. I'm gonna try to do it as soon as possible. Quickly. Did I cancel? I didn't want to cancel. Am I back? Okay. Oh, that's such a beautiful view. Oh, it's so lovely. No matter what else is going on in the state or the world, here in Nenana, we have our tripod on the river, and everything is still going according to plan. And that's comforting in the big scheme of things, right? All right, here we go. All right. So we're waiting for the ice to melt. Here we are in Alaska, in the middle of Alaska. It's 45 degrees. The wind is blowing slightly. And we're just sitting here watching the ice melt. It looks to me right now like the ice has gotten a little higher in the river. Like it seems a little, I don't know. It just looks like it's sitting higher in the water. The water that's here in front of me. You can see over there on the hill that there's hardly any snow left up there. I see that the flags are blowing, so let me put down my window a little. I love the sound of the flags fluttering. It's like, here comes spring! I know, it's, if you've been watching my last couple of videos, you know that my kids have been with me a lot because, they're out of school, so they like to come out and play with me. But boy, does it make my life crazy. I don't know. They're always into something. Mom life, right? With all the wind we've had, I'm kind of surprised we still have all these little flags here on the tripod. All these little colorful flags. They've held up well. So, what should we go see? Do you want to go see upriver? You want to just sit here? You want me to talk about something? Really, I do this for you, so if there's something you want to know about, you just got to let me know. If there's someplace you want me to go. Oh, that's a good question. So, I posted just a few moments ago a link to a movie that Tim, the documentary guy, made a couple years ago about the Ice Classic, and it's called Classic. And I posted a trailer to it on the fan page, and you should totally go and watch that trailer. I know that the movie went to the Denver Film Festival last year, a year and a half ago, and Tim was looking for a buyer for the movie, but he showed it up here, and I was around when he was filming that movie, and that movie is fantastic. I cannot wait for it to be out somewhere. I think that the Ice Classic should sell that movie to every tourist that comes to town. It is so well done. So go check out the trailer and keep an eye out for that movie. As soon as it comes out, I will post it all over the fan page. But go watch that trailer. They did a great job. So, things are looking pretty solid right here. I can see that there are cracks in the ice going off like up this, where's my finger? Hold on. Over here, there's cracks in the ice that go a ways across the river. But, I think, you know, they're just kind of sitting on the top of the ice. They're not like big cracks in the river or anything. And in a few minutes here, we will head upstream and look what it looks like up there around the corner where I was with my kiddos this morning. Okay. Let me see. I'm checking comments on another phone right now because do you ever feel like you get overwhelmed with technology? So, with my kids being home, they each have an iPad. I have an iPad. I have a phone. And sometimes it's just like way too much technology. Let me see. Somebody asked me to zoom in, so let me see. How's that? How is that? Is that a good zoom in there, Debbie? I don't mind you asking at all. This is a pretty busy place today. I've seen quite a few people here. The watchmen are on duty, and people are coming. I would imagine every 5 minutes somebody goes by here and takes a look at what's happening. So mine are not the only eyes on the river. You know what I heard today? Somebody posted in another post that the Copper River went out today. Now, if you're familiar with Alaska, you might know the Copper River. If you've ever heard of the Copper River Reds, it's a kind of salmon to die for. So the Copper River is a river that comes in from the ocean, but it comes in over by Glen Allen. So it comes in south central-ish Alaska. And so, you know, it's a really good indication when the other rivers are letting out their ice out that we are certainly going to be soon also letting the ice out. So that's exciting news to know that other rivers are indeed breaking up. What are we going to do? Oh, hey, you know, I was watching the other day and they were pumping water out of the sitting areas in town and pumping it into the river. And I see another truck downriver this time between me and the bridge, the highway bridge, dumping again. That's pretty interesting. I'm glad to see them doing that. So, shall we take a drive and go see what's happening upriver since we've looked here? And things are looking pretty solid here. You know, the reason I'm going to say, you know what I said earlier that I thought the ice was a little bit higher than it had been? So, you know, a couple days ago I was out here and there was a lot of water sitting on top of the ice. And all of that water has now seeped down through all of the cracks. And maybe that's why it seems like the ice is higher, because I'm not seeing any of the sitting water pools out there in the middle. But yet it's all here on the edge of the river. I betcha. All right, so let's take a drive, shall we? We're going to go see what it's looking like upriver. I think watching the changes in the ice and in the river is really exciting. To me, it's not just, well, the ice broke up and, you know, it went out. Like, there's so much more to it, and it's so exciting to see all the other parts of it and know why things are happening the way they're happening. I just like knowing all about it. All right, through some potholes. I'm going to stop here real quick because this is another one of the places that I've been taking pictures from frequently. So if you watch videos over and over, like you watch the next one in the series, you will see how things are changing. Now, right now, this is a lot more water than was here at the edge of the river than when I was here 3 hours ago. There's a lot more water in here. Okay, so if you see right here now in front of me, I am right here on the edge, and you can see that this is a lot of water in here. However, I'm not seeing any river current. Now, there is a little bit of current. If you watch these little things right here in the water, you can see that they're moving, but this is not like full-on river current right here. You can see there's still ice sitting in here. We got a couple of trees in there. This is just wind here moving the water. And it's just all sitting here. Whoa, I was really crooked there. Sitting here on top of the ice here on the edge. But since I've been here last, I can definitely see here. You see, like right along here is a really sharp crack where the ice fell off. It was not like that earlier. So right down along here, I can tell that the water is really making a difference. You can see we're right upstream here from the tripod. You can see that this, I mean, goes out pretty far. Like, what's this? Like maybe 50 feet? Yay, the train! And it is just all on top of the ice, though. This is not open. There's not, I mean, there's a little current, but at 45 degrees, you know, it melts slowly. I'm trying to see if there's anything else really interesting out here. I do see, like this little bit of bump here on the edge of the river. I can see that they've been doing some work there, cutting down some brush over there. So that's why that's all disturbed. It's the train! Why does it make me so excited? Okay, Billy, you want to know about the documentary. So Tim was up here a couple years ago and made a documentary called The Classic, about the Ice Classic. And I posted a link on the fan page to that documentary. It hasn't been released like fully to the public yet, but you can watch the trailer. So that's what I was saying. Go watch the trailer and keep an eye out for this documentary when it happens, because it's so well done. I mean, it makes Nenana an interesting place, not like a stupid little place with a stupid little story. And that's what I find so attractive about that. This here train coming is a coal train. And it's coming up from the coal plants in Healy. And it's on its way past Fairbanks to the military installation. I was waving. This isn't too long of a train here. We'll watch it go across the bridge once it's had a chance to go around the loop. And then we'll watch it go on the other side. Woo, I love the train so much. You can see here that the trees are still here on the ice. Wow, it's blowing so their horn so much. That train whistle was really going. Okay, so you can see out here that these trees are still here out on the ice. They're just going to go downriver when it goes. Much like the tripod, just going downriver. So if you're just joining me, I'm just upriver from the tripod. There it is. It's about 45 degrees here in Nenana today, and we are on river watch. The Nenana River, which is on the other side of this bridge, already went out last Thursday, so the stage is set for this ice to go out. But it's not looking like there's any movement right now. We are having, there's just right here in front of me, there's a big pool of water, but really it's just rain and some melt. It is not really river water. I'm sure there is some river water moving in and mixing with it. I'm just coming up through the cracks in the ice, but there's some little current here in front of me flowing the way the river flows, but it's not river current. So the trees, okay, so the trees are out here in the river and they're just stuck here on the ice. See here, there's all these trees, and somebody was clearing their property and chose to drag their trees out into the middle of the river and let the river take the trees, which is a totally natural process. The river takes the trees all the time. And if you look over here on the far bank, you see this whole bar right here. This is all trees in the river. But it seems to me just kind of weird that somebody cuts their trees and like drags them to the middle of the river. So I was kind of surprised that the trees are out here in the river in the first place, but then I'm kind of like, but they're in the way of the tripod. But here they sat. So to this year we have trees in the river. One year the Iditarod had come through here, and so all on the river was all of these piles of hay and straw that the dog mushers used. And so that was kind of weird too, is, you know, all the ice went out with little chunks of hay on it. All right. Till April 23rd, Wanda, I would say you have a chance. Today's the 21st. And it's not going today. I don't have a whole lot to say specifically, like I know everything, but from what I can see, it's not today. All right, we're gonna watch the train come across that bridge. Can you hear it? I can hear the train like it goes into gear to get up this hill. All right, you want a fabulous picture? Get ready with your screenshot. Here it comes. I can see it through the trees. And there it is! Yay! The train! We are so lucky to be here with these two beautiful bridges right here in Nenana. If you ever wonder, yes, somebody does live in that house right over there, that big house. That's the Verhagen's house. And the train does go behind their house. They live between the train and the river. It's a little hill back there, and then the train's gonna pop out here on this side. And then we're just gonna watch the train go past the tripod before we go upriver, because I like the train. Look at it there. Isn't that pretty how the yellow comes through the trees? Two weeks or so ago, I saw a train go by, and it was so long it had engines in the middle helping pull it along. Ooh. I'm so lucky the train went by when I was here. All right. We're gonna head upriver a little bit some more and see what's going on up around the corner. Hang on while I get you in my tripod. Okay. Steady, steady. Okay, so this building here that I'm right beside, I'm right beside these buildings right here. This building right here that I'm sitting right in front of is the Cultural Center. And it's kind of like the Nenana Museum. And if you come to Nenana, you'll probably stop by there. This building is the Artesian Market. Was originally built as a salmon bake here on the river. They were going to have fish wheels out and everything, but that didn't happen. So now, excuse me, in the summertime, local artists set up their tables and things in here and visit the tour buses that stop by here while the people are on the way from Fairbanks to Denali. So this summer, though, I don't know what's going to happen. They're saying not many tourists are going to come through, so that's going to be a real strain on our state. It's going to be a real strain on the individuals, and there are going to be people who have lost their livelihood because, you know, the cruise companies aren't bringing their boats up. So the impact on that, I think, is going to be major, and that will be interesting to see. So I'm going to go up this way with the tripod looking out the windows. You can see that there's still water sitting around. We still got snow piles. These are, you know what? I never asked what these buildings were. That one kind of looks like it was a barn, but they're just old buildings here in the trees. All right, so we're going to head up around the river, around the corner, and see what's going on. If there's any open water up here around the corner. We're going upriver, so that would be, you know, water that's coming toward the tripod. Can we come check out the ice if we stay? You know what? You can come check out the ice even if you are not staying in your vehicles. Everybody's outside. We are not sick in our town. Of course, people are practicing social distancing and not hanging out in groups. But so far we're good. And yes, come visit. Come look at the ice. Come take a selfie. Send me your selfie and I'll post it if you want me to. I think that would be fabulous. Really? Mark says that old building we were looking at was called the Hoochery, a bar. Oh, and it was a house? Woo! I didn't even know that about those buildings. Thank you. It's a bar and a house. All right, then. I wish I would have seen them because I like those buildings. I like that pointy roof on that one building. It looks kind of like a barn. Okay. So we're right up here at the corner where the last turn is before you get to the tripod. And we'll stop here for just a second. Sorry it's so bumpy. Somebody said to me earlier today, they're like, this is the most real TV we've ever seen. And I think that's kind of funny because it's real because I just don't edit it. Like what happens, happens. Oh, like that. See? I got to recenter my tripod here. Okay. So we'll get out and we'll talk about what's going on here with the water. Sorry. Dropped the phone. Okay. I think you should totally drive down. I'm plugging in my phone. Hi. Okay, craziness. Like I said, no editing. It's just me. You should totally come down and check out the river. It is, to me, it is so interesting. Like, why would you do anything else? I'm down here right now every 3 or 4 hours, just taking a peek at what's happening and seeing the difference. And I find it fascinating. Okay, so this is where we were down this morning. And I am seeing a small bit of river current here, but once again, this is fully ice underneath this water. And, oh, look at here. Here comes some pieces just to go by us as we stand here. Shall we stay and watch the ice melt? Watch the ice go down the river? So you can definitely see that there is just a little bit of current under here watching this ice go down. But this here is a lot more water than when I was here earlier this morning. This, though, is just the snow, water, snow, rain runoff. But still, I see some cracks here in the edge. Right up here on the bank, those are some nice cracks in the ice there. The river is not open, but there is some melting going on. Look at that. Woo! Wait until it's a big piece. So earlier today, I was up this way, and I made a short video, which I posted to the fan page if you want to go back and look at it, about what our rivers are made out of. And we have a lot of river silt here, and that's what all this is on the bank here that I'm walking on. All this is silt. And I was showing you here about this river, this tiny little stream of water here that carves out such a big canyon, and why it does that. And while we were down here earlier, my kiddos were playing here on these pieces of ice at the edge, but the crack at the edge was not so big. So look at there, you can see it going down river. Ooh. But you can, I don't know if you can see it, but I can certainly see that there is lots of ice under it. And it's just floating on surface water. I can see right out here though, right there, that there is some river water coming up. I can see kind of like a fountain coming up a little bit through some cracks in the ice, which I can also see. I can also hear behind me the water coming down this little canyon I was showing you. So definitely things are warming up. Definitely things are melting. Dan wants to know how often I visit the Monderosa. Not often enough. The Monderosa is a bar and restaurant here in Nenana that is open year-round. I don't know, I probably go out there about every 3 months or so. Yes, so Tiffany, you're wanting to know what is my guess on the river. It's not today. Could it happen tomorrow? Yes. Could it happen the next day? Yes. It could even happen the day after that, but I think that's pushing it. We're still pretty cold though. It's only about 45 degrees, and this is the first sunshine I've seen out today. So, you know, we're not getting much heat from the sun, but maybe that'll change here with the sun out right now. How far is it from Wasilla to Nenana? So Nenana is at mile 304, and Wasilla is about mile 50, maybe? So 250 miles. It takes us about 5 hours to drive it. Well, maybe 5 hours to Anchorage, so maybe 4 hours from Wasilla. So yeah, it would be fun to come up and see. You might be here for all the excitement. You know, we were watching those two pieces of ice earlier, and there they are, kind of right there on the edge. Can you order burgers to go? Yes, you can. I don't know what their current hours are. I know they're a little bit reduced, but I do believe that they're still open. I don't know what the phone number is, but Google Monderosa and I'm sure you'll find it there. It's the only one in the state. Great burgers. Great French fries. All right, so we're gonna head up the river, up around the corner, and see what's going on up there. It's fun to see the changes. I really enjoy looking at the river so often to see what changes it brings. Going through trees, over sand dunes, through mud, the things I do. Okay. You know what else I've noticed, which you've probably noticed too, in looking at the river over the last couple of days, if you're watching, is that the ice is really white right now. And I think that is because it is disintegrating and degrading, and it has a lot more air in it than it used to. I think is why it's white. Okay. Here we go up around the corner. We're going to go, excuse me, about half a mile upstream. Did you all see the map that I posted? So if you haven't seen the map that I posted, go to the fan page. And I posted a little Google map of Nenana, but I posted on the map where the tripod is, where the Nenana River is that's out, where I take pictures from, and that might give you a really good idea of how we're situated here in our little town, if you can see that visual. I know it's kind of hard when you just watch me drive around to actually see how things are related. So upriver from the tripod, there is an S curve. We were just at the last curve on that, and we are going to be traveling in between the curves here now, and up to the top of that S curve then I can't see because it's too far away from what I can drive. You can see there's people out here running their dogs. That's nice to see. Maybe they are coming to check on the river too. Sand castles, you know, you can play in the silt, but the thing is, the silt is so dirty. Like, it's just filthy, and it's so much finer than sand, and it's so heavy. Like, those are all really funny things to say about silt, right? But like, if it gets in your clothes, it's just heavy. And of course it's going to get in your clothes because it's so fine. And when it gets in your boots and it gets in your car, you just can't even vacuum it out of your car because it is so fine. All right, we're going to do a little bit of 4x in here because this is getting pretty wet and mushy. Don't get stuck. Ugh. Okay, made it. Okay. I'm hoping this other way in here is going to open up so it's not quite so mushy. I don't know. I might be able to... I could probably get out the other way. Maybe. Oh, definitely I can see difference going on up here. All right, here we go. Back out of the car. Pardon my wiggliness as I get out. This part of the river here is generally where we start to see the first signs of... This one I get excited, I should say, because this is really just right the precursor to what's happening. Okay, so here I am about a mile upstream from the tripod, and there is more open water here than what was here previously, and I'm sure that this is on top of the ice. But there's a lot more ice on top of the ice where the ice has been moving. I see some new cracks. And look right there. This is the first time been down here that I've been seeing ice moving here. Let me see if I can... There it is. Can you see it? So that is ice flowing in river water over other ice. But that is definitely moving. That is the river current that we have here. Look at that! It's so exciting! I forget how fast it goes. Oh my gosh. Okay, so 2 days. That's what I'm saying, 2 days. And I will be spending a lot of time down here. Yes, it is solid looking underneath. So, okay, I get so excited about that part. So let me show you what else I see here. So in front of me right here, there's a new crack. Let me see, right along here. Can you see that crack out there? Right there. Okay, so that crack is new since I was here earlier. And also, right along here has popped up. That crack there was not like that when I was here earlier. I'm going to go out here to this little piece right here. You can see that this piece has been up and down as there's ice on top of the other ice. And we're going to watch this ice come down and meet that ice. Woo! We're watching the ice melt. Isn't that exciting? Not really. No? I think it's exciting. Maybe I think it's exciting because I'm here and I'm watching it and I can hear it. I can hear the bubbling underneath the ice now. I can hear some of that. Watching this. Woo! Look at that. Look at that. Did you see that piece just fall in? Oh, and look, it's popping up over here. Oh, yeah, see? So that's just a tiny little piece there. It's going underneath that ice and popping up again. This is a nice flow on top of the water here. That's so exciting! Look at that! Did you see that happen? Okay, now see, things are happening. It's going to be slow, but it's starting. Who's this? Elizabeth wants to know if I have a degree in journalism. So I don't. I just live here in Nenana, and I think that the Ice Classic is fascinating, and I think the river is fascinating, and my goal is to share that with the world. I love where I live, and I want everybody to know that. So that's why I do this. This is why I spend time out here at the river watching the ice melt. I'm going to go back a little bit here because I'm kind of like, oh, hi. So with that introduction, here I am. Hi, got my pink sunglasses on today. Rocking it. Yeah, that was totally accident. Sorry. Okay, I was trying to read a comment. Can I feel it as well? Right now, okay, so what I feel right now is it's pretty breezy and it's pretty cold. It's 45 degrees. Sometimes when the ice goes out, I should say in the past, I have felt the ice go out. That was one of those years, though, that it was, the ice was really deep and it went out really fast. And it was so cool because we were watching the ice come up off the bottom. You see, the river has 2 layers of ice. It's got the layer of ice that's on top, but it's also got ice that sits on the bottom. And we were watching that ice pop up off the bottom, and it was exciting. What does my husband say about my love for the river and the ice castle? My husband thinks I'm a little crazy, but he is super, super sweet. He brings me food when I sit down here for hours and hours. My kids, they could probably tell you everything I tell you because they've heard it forever. You heard from Emily a little bit earlier today. Look at that. That ice is letting go right out there. See right there? That little piece? That's probably about the size of an ice cube, but it's exciting anyway. He kind of just is like, well, that's her thing. He knows I love it. So he supports me in that, but he just thinks I'm a little weird. Woof, it is windy, but this is so exciting. Do you see that piece going down? Look, that whole piece just came off right there. How fun. Look at that. It is melting. Do you see that piece going down? It just let loose and went down. Woo, it's so little. Wait till it gets bigger. We're going to have the big boys here soon. Soon we're going to have the big boys. 2 days, maybe. Right now, I'm checking out the river about every 3 hours, 4 hours maybe. Just to keep an eye on what's happening. Things aren't really going to get super, super excited. Like, I won't sit here all the time until the river is open, like to the bridge above the tripod. And then I'll be down here just watching, because things can happen so quickly and so unexpectedly. that if you're not ready for it, you know, it just takes a minute for things to crack up and some big movement to happen. I would say out of the 13 years that I've lived in Nenana, I've probably seen the ice go out maybe 9 times, 8 times, which is a pretty good record. Last year, darn it, we couldn't see the ice go out because, well, first of all, it went out at 12:21 in the morning, and I had gone home because it was just hanging out there. And, yeah, it was kind of like stuck and hadn't moved in hours and hours and hours and hours, and I don't know. Should I have stayed out till past midnight watching the ice? It's kind of dark. We couldn't really see it. It was out of view of the webcam, so it was kind of disappointing, honestly. So hopefully this year will be more exciting. When I grew up in Juneau, Alaska, and we had a house that faced the Juneau-Douglas Channel, and often we would just sit and watch what was happening out in the water. You know, the tides were coming in and out. We were watching boats coming up and down the channel. I don't know, maybe this reminds me of that, you know, just watching that water move. Also, I think, you know, the Ice Classic is so uniquely Alaskan. Like, it's so steeped in Alaskan tradition. You know, it's been on since 1917, and really very, very few changes. Oh, somebody asked me earlier about the jackpot. So the jackpot has not been set. It is generally set at the April business meeting. But usually by the April business meeting at the end of April, we know what ticket sales are because we've heard from all the vendors. However, this year, Sherry opened up ticket sales through the office, and so I was talking to Teresa this morning, who works in the office, and she says, yes, they're just inundated with tickets. And I asked her, I said, do you think people are buying more tickets because they mailed it in, or, you know, are you finding letters with, you know, just 1 or 2 tickets in it? And she says they are all over the place. They have letters that have 1 ticket in it to letters that are coming in, you know, with 200 or 300 tickets in them. So, you know what? Until they can get through all of those mail-in tickets, there is no way of telling what the sales were this year. I would like to think it was great. I have heard that the places that still had tickets, their buckets were full when people were trying to put tickets coming. So I will definitely update you when we know anything, but yeah, it'll be a while. There's only a few ladies in the office working on those tickets, you know, social distancing and all that. So they're not supposed to start the ice pool workers until April 30th, unless it's mandated something else by the government. And so usually I'm like telling you all about what's happening with the ice pool and the workers, and we go over there and take a look, and we look at all the tickets coming in, and that's just not happening this year. It's kind of disappointing, but it is what it is. So being that the tickets are not going to be counted as quickly as they usually are and processed, also means that the announcement of the winners also will be delayed by a little bit. But, you know, all in good time, right? So I'm just going to come back down here and sit by the tripod, because that's what we talk about. And if there's anything you want to talk about, any questions you have, anything you've heard, you want to know if it's true, well, we can talk about it. I do like getting different views of the tripod, which is why I don't always park in the same place, because I think it's just interesting to see it from different viewpoints and watch what's happening. Looks about the same, though, as when we were down here before. Barry, you always send me jokes. You must remember I like jokes. Yeah. Yeah, I've often thought about having a camper and just like parking it right here and watching. Every once in a while when I'm doing this update, I do find people down here that have come down and brought their motorhome and camped for the day. I think that's super fun. I would totally do that if I had a motorhome. Yes, the anticipation, I think, is the excitement of it, where we can see little bits happening. We see water on the river. We see the ice moving. But we know it's not happening yet. We've got a while. Probably 2 days, maybe 3 days. Looking out at the river, I can see differences in the ice. I can see where the top layers are melting and where it looks different, you know, where it's kind of bubbly and fuzzy down there. Let's see. Amy wants to know any Nenana winners in the past. Yes, there have been. Not since I've been here, though, like the last 10 years, I don't think. But sure, there have been winners in the past. And you know what? Every once in a while when I'm down here, I'm talking to people and they say, I was one of the 27 winners in 2015. And I think that's so cool to be the winner, one of the winners of the Ice Classic. All right. What's my best guess that the ice goes out? I'm going to say probably from right now, probably 2 days from right now. But it's supposed to stay pretty warm. It's not really supposed to freeze overnight. We've had rain, so if the rain, the rain is going to continue to come into the river, which is going to change things. And it's going to lift that top layer of ice up off the river, and then things will start moving. Wow, when my kids aren't here, I can just kind of sit here in silence for a moment. That was so funny yesterday. So I had this incident yesterday where I dropped my phone and Emily was videoing with it. You know, when she was done with it, I couldn't see any more comments after that. And, of course, I have Looney Tunes playing in the background because that's what the kids were watching on the DVD. And it felt like I was just in a cartoon myself with Looney Tunes on in the background. Crazy mom life. Isn't that pretty out there with the flag all out? I'm so glad they fixed it. All right. So I'll probably come out tonight again. And take pictures, maybe if there's much change. I don't expect there to be much change tomorrow, though. Things will be happening tomorrow, I'm pretty sure. And Thursday? Thursday might be the day. Clarissa, you won in 2018? That's so great. Alrighty. Well, let me get out. We'll do one more pass outside here. Do you guys count guesses every year? Yep. Alright, here we go. We'll look right here in front of me. So you can see that there's still some river current here. You can see those little pieces right there moving. See them out there? Standing here, what I'm looking at right here. Okay, so I'm looking straight down into the river. And this is a lot more water than was here earlier. So down here, there's a crack right in here. That crack was showing 2 or 3 hours ago when I was here. So definitely there's a lot of water on top of the ice here. But as you can see here, you can see all the ice under the water right along there. We're going to walk down here because there was a really interesting current taking place down here earlier that I want to check out. Isn't that interesting? Can you see along here? You can see here. That's all in the ice there under the water. It looks like a big crack there, but I don't see a whole lot of river flow coming up there, so it's probably not a big crack. Definitely some colorization in the ice. You know what that might be? That might be a layer of silt in the ice, because when it gets windy, that silt blows around. All right, so if you were with me yesterday and today, we came down here and we looked at this little whirlpool going on right here. But that's not as exciting now because the water's raised up and it's not doing what it was. Pretty cool. See that little ice bit go down there? See, we're right here looking at the tripod. It's about to get exciting. Look, that's a nice shot. Can you see that ice there at the edge of the river? Nice. Tiffany wants to know, does going down to 20 at night change anything? Well, it freezes the top layer, but this is still going to have some water in it, even if it's at 20 degrees. So, I mean, it's not going to freeze up again or anything. It's not going to change much. This here is enough current. That's cool. This here is enough current, though, that it is bringing things downstream. All right, right straight down again. Look at this ice right here at the edge of the river. See there how it's got some nice big cracks in it? Right here. Awesome. So what I'm expecting when I come down again next time after dinner is that a lot of at some point this is going to pop back up again. All this ice down here is going to pop back up again when it lets go of the bottom. When this ice starts letting go of the bottom here on the edge, things are really going to start happening. So 2 days maybe. All right, I'm going to go home for dinner.